Imagine waking up tomorrow and, discovering that 40% of your firm's revenue is basically packing its bags to leave.
Oh man, that is the nightmare scenario.
Right. And the kicker is you are the one who signed off on the itinerary. So welcome to this deep dive. Today, our mission is to explore this silent threat that's just lurking inside professional services firms.
Yeah, the hidden structural risks of succession.
Exactly. Because as experts here at Succession Strength, I mean, we see this all the time. Incredibly smart firms constantly avoiding the absolute most critical conversations about equity, authority, client transfer, and exit terms until disaster actually strikes.
Oh, you really do. It's so common.
It's like ignoring a ticking time bomb just because it's stored in a really nice, neat little box, Why do they do this? Okay, let's unpack this.
Well, let's look at a classic case study of a regional consulting firm. So they had this senior partner, a true classic rainmaker,
Okay.
and he had been there for 25 years. He personally brought in 40% of the firm's total revenue.
Wait, 40%? Just one person?
Just one person.
Yeah.
And he directly managed their 3 absolute largest clients.
Wow. Okay, but let me push back here for a second, though, because having a rainmaker isn't inherently a disaster, right? I mean, if you plan for their exit.
True, if you plan for it.
And I know this firm actually had a named successor, and they even scheduled like a 6-month transition period. So shouldn't the clients have felt comfortable staying? I mean, 6 months seems like plenty of time to, hand over a client file.
Right, a client file, sure. But what's fascinating here is you cannot hand over 2 decades of deep-seated personal trust on a flash drive.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They had this, beautiful succession plan on paper, but they completely ignored the messy reality of execution.
The actual human element.
Exactly. The younger partner was introduced, boxes were checked off, but the retiring partner never actually transferred the underlying authority or that relationship capital.
They just glossed over it.
Yeah, the firm avoided the really deeply uncomfortable conversations about what transferring client trust actually requires in practice.
But why avoid it, though? I mean, is it just the retiring partner's ego? Or maybe a fear of losing their compensation leverage before they actually walk out the door?
Honestly, it's usually this volatile mix of both. I mean, the firm doesn't want to upset the person bringing in almost half the money.
Right, obviously.
And the partner, well, they don't want to give up their perceived value. So because they didn't force those hard conversations, the fallout was just devastating.
What happened?
The firm suffered a 35% revenue drop within 6 months of his exit.
Oh, wow. 35% in 6 months?
Yep. 2 of those top 3 clients walked immediately to competitors who, had been courting them. And the third client, they stayed, but they slashed their scope of work by half.
Here's where it gets really interesting to me. It's like assuming you own the house just because your roommate pays the mortgage.
That is a great way to put it.
The second they move out, you realize your name was never actually on the deed. The firm didn't actually own that revenue. They were just renting it from the partner.
Exactly. They were renting it.
And the problem wasn't a lack of business knowledge. I mean, they knew how to run a firm. It was a complete lack of structure to make the unspeakable discussable.
Yeah, and the aftermath of that silence was brutal. For the next 2 years, the firm just bled staff.
I can imagine. Morale must have tanked.
It did. The remaining partners lost all confidence in their leadership. Ultimately, this firm, which was a market leader, got acquired by a competitor for just a fraction of its former valuation.
And what about the retiring partner, the rainmaker?
Oh, he thrived.
Yeah.
He started his own solo boutique firm and just took those rendered relationships right with him.
Wow. So if we connect this to the bigger picture for you listening, revenue concentration isn't just like a financial metric on a spreadsheet.
No, not at all.
It's a massive structural risk. If your firm relies on one star player, you are completely vulnerable. So what does this all mean for you? How do firms safely navigate this without just blowing up their current partnerships?
Well, you need a way to surface those gaps without it feeling like an interrogation, right?
Right. Because if you just try to audit who controls the clients, people get defensive.
Instantly defensive. So before you jump into deep diagnostics, you need a safe starting point. And that is exactly why we developed the conversation cards.
Ah, right. The conversation cards.
Yeah, they are the ideal structure for this because bringing a formal audit to a rainmaker feels like an attack, but a structured discussion tool, it shifts the focus completely.
It puts the friction on the process rather than the person.
Precisely. It gives leadership a safe framework to make these heavy avoided topics totally approachable. So you surface the gaps long before a disaster forces the issue.
It really just creates the space to solve a problem that you previously didn't even know how to talk about. Well, as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a quick question to mull over.
A provocative thought.
Yes. Is the value of your firm built on actual institutional capabilities, or does it walk out the door every evening in someone's smartphone contacts?
Visit successionstrength.com or email info@successionstrength.com to get the conversation cards. Follow the Transfer Ready by Succession Strength podcast.